BOE.
Yeah.
BOE might be the map. It's also a strong map for Fnatic, no doubt about that. But then, as you said, there's very few maps where Fnatic doesn't have a good track record. But on BOE, you will see more team fights, and the globals don't have the same impact as they have on others. So that might be the choice.
See, you mentioned globals, and I'm less scared of globals, even though I know it's a strength of Fnatic, compared to Battlegrounds that allow them to team fight. Because last couple of weeks, EU just doesn't seem to be able to hang with them in terms of team fights. They have been shutting down everybody after level 10.
That's fair.
Fnatic is OP. That's what I'm trying to say here.
Okay, but my counter question would be, so you say their macro and global game is their weakness?
I would say just go play Black Hearts Bay. That's what I would say. Just completely break all the rules here.
Okay, if we're going down that path, then I want to go for pool party instead.
Let's do it. Pool
I
party.
mean, if you pick Stitches every single game, chances are you're good at pool party.
That's a good
so
point.
maybe they have some kind of joker card that they can play and talk to the admins and say like, okay guys, we have a special card every single season. We can determine any map pool we want. We go for pool party.
Got some skin codes. Let's play on
Yeah.
Stitch's pool party. All right, guys, which battleground are we going to for game number 4? It is going to be BOE, as the good guys elect to go ahead and run away with first pick. They would rather have their first choice here than picking the battleground.
Yeah, and Fnatic picks BOE.
They love this map as of late.
Oh yeah, I would have actually expected them to maybe even go into Sky. It's the map. Sky Temple is a map where they are feared for. They have been feared for a long time, even back to BlizzCon. So it's not that it only popped up as a strong map for them during the mid-season brawl, but at BlizzCon itself, it was one of the maps where Fnatic just excelled. And ever since then, everyone was banning out Sky against them. We're not trying to pick it. So yeah, we have on the other hand now Battlefield of Eternity, and that means a lot of team fights where they're also definitely strong.
Yeah.
But let's find out how the good guys are going to play this, and also if they rely again on their Stitches, on their Illidan, and which one of these heroes is going to be taken out by Fnatic.
Well, here we go into BOE. The last time we had the good guys here, it's where they showed off their Malthael gameplay. And Malthael has definitely been in the rotations pretty often for our teams on BOE. His ability to be able to put his mark, his Reaper's mark, on top of the Immortal has been quite effective. All right, Goofy. Dahaka has been banned out on the left side here for good guys.
The Pun Master 2000 has entered the arena.
I'm just trying to make sure I get that down, man. We gotta do it for our viewers, you know? Have these cooldowns and everything just down on lock, you know?
Yeah, sure.
It's our responsibility as commentators to deliver
To make bad
accurate
puns?
information and do bad puns. That's our life. Trixar and Caldor.
Okay.
Accurate, but punny.
Okay, Shamsu, calm down.
Sham 2, I haven't heard that name in a while, man. I think Captain Bruder, right?
Wasn't he the NA Pun Master? Wasn't that the reputation?
Yeah,
Am
he
I
was.
mixing things up here?
He
Alright.
was, man.
So I
he
got my
was.
memes down, that's good. Dehaka, banned again. Good guys following through with the Dehaka bans on every single big map. We've seen that now 2 times from them in the series, and this map is no exception.
Yeah, you may be asking at home, when did Dahaka become something that is actually banned on Battlefield of Eternity, and actually started to happen a lot at the MSB, the Mid-Season Brawl. We had Roll20, who was running it pretty often in North America during the second part of Phase 1, but at the MSB, we actually started to see a lot of teams picking it up, and his strength to rush you towards level 10 and be able to rotate in for picks was pretty phenomenal, so he's been banned out pretty often as of late. Uther will be the response here from Fnatic.
Yeah, the snap pick on Genji. Immediately taken.
Boom.
So Uther great with Genji, great against Genji. Him banned out follows with the good guys taking the hero right away. Fnatic, I would expect the Nubarak to be taken again. Question is with what? Is it going to be the Nubarak and Greymane rotation that Fnatic really likes and loves to play, putting the pressure onto the Immortal already? Or are they trying to draft a bit more around what the good guys prefer to pick?
Is there a world where you grab Illidan first? Or do you think they'll allow it to go through? They grab Greymane. Do they get the Nubarak? I think you do go for the Nubarak no matter what, especially with Genji being on the side. You always want to have that possible tool of interrupting the Dragon Blade. There it is.
The Nubarak and the Greymane, that was to be expected. But they waited a long time on the Nubarak. They definitely had some other thought process and an alternative for the pick. For the good guys, on the other hand, with Genji now taken, this is really the moment where I want to know, do they believe still in the power of Stitches? He's a great pick here. There's a lot of stalemates that you have when you are trying to burn down the opponent's Immortal, and that's a really good hook opportunity that you can use. You still would need a follow-up for it though. So big question for now, are we going to see that happening? Other heroes for BKB. First of all, the Oriel. Okay, Kronos again back on the hero. Double support with Rhaegar now taken as well. We have Vala, we have Illidan, and we have Lunara around. Potential Tracer, not so much. They definitely can play her.
For Fnatic?
No, I mean on the side of the good guys with the double support. Just trying to go through my head what kind of damage dealers you could play with her. But if you really wanted to go into the Tracer, you would have picked probably the Tassadar over anything else. So they haven't done that. But they can play her. But in this case, Vala, Lunara, and Illidan, I think, are the most obvious choices for them.
Malthael still floating around for both of our teams here. We'll either decide to go ahead and go for the ban.
I don't think the good guys would go into Malthael here.
Yeah.
Actually, they will have to split their They will have to split their lanes a bit differently at the beginning if they go just into main tank plus range damage dealer outside of Genji, because they won't have a dedicated solo laner. So if they want to do that, we could see a 2-3 split by them. They could still go into the Malthael. You're right. They could do that. Lunara, Malthael. If anti-hero is playing Genji on the other hand, I mean, again, then they would put Raid Boss on someone else. Raid Boss could take over Genji, and then we would have anti-hero on Malthael, so there's still a chance for them.
Trying to think of what these players play and what would be good for the good guys. I think Lunara and Muradin would be a good way for them in the rotation. Right now, Tassadar gets banned out for good guys, so Tassadar will not be available for Fnatic.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If the good guys go now into Lunara after Vala got banned, and say they take the main tank, then they don't have a dedicated solo laner then. So they would have to probably go for a 2-3 split instead, or play this just a bit differently. So they still have a chance of going to a solo laner, but they could do both. It's just a matter of how you want to play it here. Fnatic, of course, can still pick some of these heroes away. They could decide to go into Lunara themselves together with the Grey main if they wanted to.
We'll see if they do that. I wouldn't mind it. It would definitely, again, disrupt Team Good Guys, which has been working out for them. Just putting in little mess-up points during the draft has been enough to seem to throw off the good guys slightly, especially in that map of 2 the Spider Queen. See if Fnatic will go into that. The Vala being out too, it does indicate that getting another racer could be great for Fnatic, and Lennar is one of those that can help poke. There's also still Li Ming, we haven't mentioned her. Karazim and Li Ming, there she is.
Alright, Schwimpy on Li Ming, Karazim now taken. Most of the supports are banned out, so Karazim makes sense for them. And good guys, what's it going to be? Are we going to see next to Genji also a solo lane at the top, or will it just be a traditional range damage dealer, most likely Lunara, supported by Oriel and Rhaegar, and then them heading into a main tank, which could be Muradin here, could be Arthur's?
I want Lunara Muradin, or I want Abathur Muradin, and get double Genji with Oriel Rhaegar.
That is so not going to happen.
I know, it wouldn't be very good.
Oriel, Rhaegar, Abathur?
Ultimate Evolution, the Rhaegar. You have triple the heals, double the fun, Genji Shurikens, and Muradin going for hat build.
Yeah, I think they're like winning too much to do that.
I know, I'm just saying, man. The possibilities are endless. Good guys, though, I really expect Lennar and the Muradin. It's going to be Stitches and Gul'dan, though. Okay. Interesting.
The Stitches is something that we talked about a lot. Gul'dan, I didn't expect at all.
We saw it with Trick yesterday, and when there's multiple melees on the opposing side, Karazim in particular, just by having Gul'dan, you make Karazim have a harder time in fights, so possibly that's where that proc was.
Yeah, but when we saw Trick play the hero, let's be honest here. First of all, it's a Crosby special, and then also it was mostly against Illidan.
Sure.
So they played really well against Illidan here. Karazim does have to be more careful, you're absolutely right on that, but he should never be as deep as an Illidan in these fights and be caught completely off guard by the Hunt, by the Horrify. But with the double support, I really expect them to focus on something else than Genji with that. Also, yeah, I mean, you have the battery with Gul'dan, so you get the hope in. I just expect a more sustained damage dealer on their part.
I think I was agreeing with you as well, but we'll see. Now, the 5th pick will be coming in for Fnatic, and so far they have their damage set up, and they're going to go ahead and move into Zeratul. We haven't seen that in a while. Is that a Wubby Zeratul?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
Shrimpy on Li Ming, Greymane by Quacknix, and Wubby on the Zeratul. Huh.
Yeah, the Golden definitely came out a little bit out of nowhere for me. I can see where its strengths can be strong here, though. You get your Pokken available, and you're good to go in that regard. Hit a Horrify if Karazim ever tries to go in a little bit too all in, and then you try to bird him down, but definitely was expecting that Lenara. But hey, I'm okay with it. Team Good Guys showing that they can flex a little bit outside of their comfort zones if need be.
Yeah, I'm just asking myself, even with the double support, this seems like this is extremely scary.
I mean, you have pretty good defense. You have decent race too with the Rhaegar already being set up. Not decent race. You got race. How about that? Compared to Fnatic where they have the Graming Leaming. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's
Okay, I have to admit that looking at this and knowing which team plays which combo, I'm looking, when I look at Fnatic, more towards the potential than towards the possible downfalls.
yeah.
And when I look at the potential, I think their combo is harder to execute because you have to really be absolutely on point with Wooby Zeratul, which usually is. Smexy has to be really careful with the Karazim, but he is on that skill level. And then you have a Li Ming that has to capitalize on every single reset, but we have seen how incredibly strong Shrimpy is on that hero. So when I look at the potential of that combo, Fnatic is just out of this world. But then again, it's also harder to execute, and there's a lot of squishies that if a good Horrify comes in after Zeratul engages, it could end with the death of Zeratul.
There's always hooks that could be in the mix here. Let's go ahead and go to game number 4. Can Fnatic close it out with a 3-1, or we see the Good Guys tied up 2-2?
Game number 4, and it might be the last game of the series. All depending on how the Good Guys play now on Battlefield of Eternity. Can they make it happen? Are they going to take another map of Fnatic, as we see Anti-Hero on Genji, Raid Boss on Rhaegar, BKB on Stitches, Xay on Gul'dan, and Kronos again on Oriel.
On the right side, in the red, it will be Fnatic here, currently in the lead 2-1. Karazim will be played by Smexy, Wubby will be on Zeratul, Quacknick's on Greymane, Twimpy playing Li Ming, and Breeze on a Nubarak.
So, let's find out if Fnatic can do that again. We have, in this case, Zeratul. I'm always happy to see Wooby on Zeratul. Zeratul, as a hero overall, is already a lot of fun to observe if you have a good one that is playing on him. And the damage potential, and especially later on the burst potential against backliners, is fantastic. And this is really where Wooby, this is one of these games where Wooby has to just show off his skills. His Zeratul play is going to have a huge impact on how this match ends.
What I like about Wubby Zeratul in particular is it's not one of those Zeratuls that you just comes in and just completely out-mechanically beats you. He can do that if he needs to, but he's very sneaky. He's an advanced ward for his team. He gets positioning all the time, and he's willing to go to the other side of the battleground and just completely screw over your positioning on the battleground. His Zeratul is one of those that can just find that moment and completely push it.
So for now, he's just down at the bot lane. We have a bit of a different drafting at this point. Sorry, not drafting, but split that we currently see here. Up to the top lane, we have two heroes just trying to hold the wall, but BKB is waiting for these hooks. One of the heroes that is really... I'm always frightened for the opponent when I see Shrimpy on Li Ming. It's to a level with Mene. Both of them on that hero are so impactful. If they start getting resets in any fight, the speed with which they clean up an entire team is frightening.
Yeah, the fight's just over when they get one kill, it feels like, every single time. So we'll keep an eye on Twimpy. We'll see what build he's going to move into. So far, he's got the armor at level 1 here, so setting himself up to be able to tank those Qs that do come his way if they have to connect with them. 3 people in the bottom as Anti will be trying to defend against his push coming in, but this is a good spot to put a 3-man rotation. Genji has some pretty lackluster wave clear, and he can't really win a 3v1 in the early game that well, so they grab 2 turrets instantly and take a nice amount of a lead here as they move into 3.5.
Yeah, nice lead in experience. Not a level 4 yet, so they don't get the talent advantage, but we have the fight here. Stun into stun. Immortal Stun helps out, and immediately the kill against Gul'dan. Down he goes, and Fnatic is hunting Whoopi with great body blocks against BKB. Stitches has not followed the diet that the doctor described, and therefore he has no chance of squeezing past Zeratul.
2 kills, and the mortar race begins as Mexi starts to jump straight on top of it here. The Iron Fist really coming in, as well as Greymane. They're going to deal with this Immortal as swiftly as possible. They also get level 4 over their opponents, so the moment that the halftime show starts, Fnatic can move into an engage if they see Good Guys overstep it on. Good Guys have to play a bit reserved and maybe try to peel somebody off the soak.
And right now, it could just be, it's going to be the race.
Just
With
a
level
race, yeah.
4 for Fnatic, Good Guys are not going to enter a battle before they pick up the talent on their own. So they are just trying to make sure that this Immortal does have the least impact possible, diminishing the shields now. Fnatic is still winning it quite easily and cannot aim to take the first fort down in the game.
So first Immortal to the top. Wubby will head to the bottom lane. Zeratul, if you ever need to, can soak a lane by himself. He has that teleport available, so don't be afraid to keep him near that wave. And most of the time, just keep him in the cloak side. If you keep him cloaked and the opposing team doesn't see where you're at, you'll naturally make the 5-man squad of your opponents sit back and play a bit more reserved. They don't want to be a spot where Zeratul gets a drop on them. So sitting and playing comfortably is one thing you can do. In fact, Zeratul's doing so right now.
Yeah, Zeratul currently sitting up at the bottom, up to the top lane on the other hand. The wall has fallen. The fountain is definitely going to drop too. The question is simply, can they kill the fort itself? And that's most likely not going to happen. Fnatic not really willing to commit fully to a fight here yet. Hooks are always coming out of BKB, connected with one earlier, but it was of no consequence as the structures were still in the way.
Fnatic rotating the bottom here. Raid Boss is set up to clear out this wave, but Wubby moves in and he starts the body block while Greymane comes in, and they put some damage on this fort. A new wreck was left behind to make sure to slow down the movement of Team Good Guys as they head towards the bottom lane, and they get, what is that, almost three quarters of damage on that fort?
Yeah, that's pretty impressive, but the hook hits. It's only against Karazin, who can dash out. But Fnatic definitely putting the pressure on. Not only up at the top against the fort, down here to the bottom as well. Free damage against the fort. Well done. And for now, they are looking strong. They have a level lead, roughly, over their opponent. They have 2 kills against 0, and the early level 7 talent might help them to initiate into another battle.
Good Guys, however, have done a good job of soaking. They have yet to miss experience since that fatal injury they had earlier where they lost 2 members. They've been making sure to soak their lanes as efficiently as possible. So they are on their way back, only half a level behind. The hook does connect on Quacknix, but he turns around willing to fight as Smexy goes forward, and they go straight in on Zay, who will have some body blocks from BKB to take that damage coming from Swimpy.
Yeah, so he was able to stay alive here. The level 7 talent just triggers these immediate aggression on the side of Fnatic, and this is something that they're really good at. Once they see an opening, they go for it, and this is especially true when they have a lead in talents. And this is exactly what they're showcasing now in the game here as well. So we're gonna find out if they can make those happen also during the Immortal phase, which just now starts up once again.
I love this call from Fnatic, by the way. Breeze on the left side here, dropping a couple of spells, getting his Beetles to show, which allowed for Karazim and Greymane to go up to their mercenaries on the right side uncontested, and they also were able to soak both lanes at the same time. Good move here by Fnatic, great call there. And Team Good Guys had to respect that fear of maybe Fnatic maybe coming in.
Also, as we see the Immortals being fought over once again, we have a really interesting adjustment once again on Wubby with the Zeratul. Not going into Wormhole or Seeker in the Dark World level 7, but instead heading into Slip into Shadow for a second Blink charge.
He's been doing this for a few weeks now.
Yeah, comes with a cooldown increase, but still important to point out here. So at that point, he has even a little bit more mobility, at least in the short run.
Being able to have a couple of blinks, allows him to blink into fights if need be, goes in for some damage. Raid Boss does get low, Smexy bringing out the punches, and Quacknix will deliver the final blow there. BKB pulls pull away, he goes in for a hook and will hit Quack, but Quack is okay for now with Smexy on the right side for him to peel back to.
Yeah, nearly falling to the Immortal as it threw out another stun circle, and Quacknix had to actually move to the left first, was zoned out, so it was unlucky timing for him, but he's still alive, and that's what really counts here. So Fnatic, they have taken a significant lead, a massive lead when it comes to the Immortal race. As it happens, the Good Guys haven't put a single damage point on the Fnatic's Immortal. Just now, BKB starting to remedy this.
And they're doing this because it's only being in the top, and they see Zeratul in the bottom soaking, so they're going to take the opportunity to push forward and force Team Good Guys or Fnatic to respond to their movement. BKB does start to retreat here, but they're taking damage as Breeze moves in. They're going straight for Ariel. 2 kills already, and Swimpy popping off.
It's a double. They're moving for BKB now too. Kronos in the back with a heal has no chance of getting close enough to Stitches to help him out, and that is Stitches gone. At this point, we are seeing more and more resets coming in. Schwimpy wants the kills, but they go for the Immortal first. And this is a massive, massive Immortal now for Fnatic. And also, just to add insult to injury, it's also a level 10 for the team in red. So Fnatic, they will attack with their rogue abilities, with an Immortal that has roughly 80% shields. This should net them a huge amount of damage against the fort and also the wall at the keep.
Yes, this should be a fort, should be a keep wall, and potentially the bottom fort too if Fnatic decides they can't get any kills. However, they open up right away with Breeze coming in with Cocoon. Will land it here, and they're setting up for a kill. Can they follow it up? Anti-Hero is going to be blown up instantly. The Impale connects, Schwimpy bringing in the Li-Ming damage, and that's 17 seconds, but we have no Genji.
This is exactly the aggression that we're always talking about. The good guys, they're just standing there. They have to take it. They don't have their 10. They're standing like an injured boxer in the ring, and they can't do anything as they're trying to ward off the punches. But Fnatic is keeping them coming, moving in towards the keep. The Immortal still has shields, has the range attack going, and this keep is definitely going to fall. The good guys don't stand a chance at this point. Fnatic, are they trying to engage with the Void Prison, looking for an opportunity? Level 10 still not there for their opponent.
They still have 13 seconds, 10 seconds till the Tomb pops out, and you expect Breeze to go in for it. Impale onto a stun from the Immortal. In fact, I don't even think that stun came out in time. Fnatic eliminates BKB. They move in, and they start hitting the core.
They go straight for the core here. They already have shields down. The Immortal is still doing damage, 50% down. Fnatic, they want the victory right here. They want the 3-1, and they are going to get it. Moving in, dropping it, and in 8 minutes and 46 seconds, Fnatic ends the dream of the good guys and takes this series.
The good guys not finishing last today as they get picked off, and we're going to have the amazing Fnatic continuing to be awesome here as they still are undefeated overall in the HGC. That will put them up to a 4-0. And for a moment there, after game one, it looked like good guys definitely were here to mess up the plans of Fnatic, but they seem to get angry after that. Game two on seemed to be pretty dominant.
Yeah, Fnatic punished them there. But still, I really like what we've seen from the good guys today. They took a map which only Team Liquid has managed to do so far in this phase 2. And also, they didn't really look too bad on a lot of these maps. They looked much better than in the first week when they had to play against Team Liquid, for example. So the good guys definitely showing that they are someone you should never underestimate, and that they have also a lot more than only their Illidan play.
They have a lot more, but I do think that they have some room to continue to grow, obviously. After Fnatic really seemed to latch on to the whole idea of Lunara, Illidan, get rid of them, it seemed like they faltered just a tad bit. Now, of course, Fnatic's execution was just a little bit over the top. It just was really difficult for a majority of teams to deal with, right? So you can't blame the good guys too much.
Well, and as we are heading in a short while into our next game, we are going to take a short look first at the ending of the game once again, just to showcase how explosive Fnatic actually is with these calls that they make when they're trying to end the game. So let's just take another look at how this happened. So we went for the keep here, and you can at this moment really tell that the lack of a level 10 is a big problem. And they know that they can force something with a Void Prison. And just watch as we are seeing them engage here. They see an opportunity as they are jumping in, and BKB is the target. So they have the curse bullet ready, and they have also the 7-sided strike, and this is when they are trying to make their move. We have Whoopi already just waiting for an opportunity. Here comes the stun, and let's just pause it right here. Can't even pause it fast enough, but you can see how, how immediately everything was used at this point. We see BKB already blown up. He doesn't stand a chance. At the same time, when you look right over here, they are catching 3 in the Void Prison, and the most important part with this was that we are also having Oriel in there. There's no chance for an Aegis since level 10 hasn't been reached, but the 2 supports would have done their best to secure it. And at this point, Fnatic already realizes with Stitches gone, everybody else in the cocoon, we get some free damage. They just move in to the core as we are walking forward, and this is where they end the game. So it's half a second. They see a chance, jump in, take Stitches down, and that's half a second. The Immortal is still at full health, and there's just nobody that can deal with it. Stitches isn't there anymore, and level 10 isn't ready for the good guys. There's absolutely nothing that they can do.
They blew him up before the Immortal could even proc the stun on him. That's how quickly they killed that Stitches. That is a health bar just instantly gone, man.
So there was no chance for them. So it's great play. But the one thing that I really want to highlight again when we talk about the good guys is, I said it before, but I want to make sure that it's something that people also think about. Fnatic has been with that constant...
I'm sorry, Quack just came up on the screen, and
I'll say it later.
He's doing sponsor live. Let's actually go for it. Quack is available. Quack, thank you for joining us. Quack, what are you doing there?
Oh shit, hello, I didn't know I was on here. Wait, let me just put this down.
Quack, did you just curse on stream? Really? Is that, is that necessary, that language?
No, I didn't.
All right, Quack. Well, first off, congrats on your victory today, man. So this is actually the first team besides Team Liquid to come out and take a map on you guys. Good guys in game one, they seem to surprise you a little?
Yeah, obviously they showed up a bit stronger than expected even. I think the first 2 games they straight up got what they wanted, and they played it really well. And like playing comps like that in general, like double support comps overall, like it's really important that you either play the macro really well or you know exactly how to execute the fights.
Sure.
And the first game we messed up like 2 early fly engages, like pre-10 even. We make a play which is like high risk, high reward, and when I fly down, we get nothing done. He denies me like 2 waves gets denied. So we messed up 2 of those plays, and they got ahead and took control of the game. And the team fights are pretty hard for us in that game. But yeah, aside from that, we played pretty good. We're slow started today.
Awesome. And I just want to ask you real quick, it seemed like going into Game 2 and Game 3 started to target the Illidan and the Lenara in particular. Did you feel like the Good Guys as a team, their power spikes start to go down a little bit after you grab those important heroes from them? Or are they still a team that can continue to grow and play different compositions?
I mean, obviously, I think they can grow, and they should look into drafting more compositions. Like they had a really strong showing with what they want to play, what they did play today. But I think as we did like in the third game, I think on Tomb, we just went in and like tried tear their comp apart a bit, like just take away some picks from them, because obviously we can play it ourselves, like with our Ariel Lunara, and that game was fairly convincing. It actually looked really like tight, but yeah, we had like 14 kills to 0 and pretty much controlled the entire game from the first turn in.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Quack. Over to Caldor.
So, well, first of all, congratulations. You guys, after the rocky start, did quite well. I want to ask something outside of the series. As you said, it was pretty clean cut after you guys hit your stride. Yesterday, we saw Team Liquid lose to Tricked. And right now, the one thing that we are trying to figure out is what is happening in Europe. Could you try and sum up what's going on right now? Which is actually the team that we need to look to when we are talking about Western Clash and top 3 positioning?
I have no idea actually. Like since it's so stacked and there's actually like still a couple of games left, and yeah, that just happened yesterday. I believe there's more, and then the top 4 that can actually like mess with the standings and potentially get to the next brawl. So I'm a bit worried for like how it's gonna play out, but I still think in the end it's gonna be like Liquid, Dig, Fnatic, or Expert. So like one of those are gonna miss out, but I think the other 3 will go.
So from your scrim experience and what you would expect, you think that Dignitas is going to bounce back, that we're going to see the same for Liquid? Or is there, I mean, you guys scrim probably also a lot against Trick. Do you think that they have even a shot going to the Western Clash with the performance right now? Or do you feel that the teams you just named are in the long run just too strong?
Standing wise, I mean, they have a chance, right? But I think as long as I don't think they will manage another upset like this, unless like I don't know who they have left facing, but that team like I don't know, chokes pretty hard. I'm not saying, I still think Tricked is really good and they had a mad performance yesterday, but I think I don't know what happened to Liquid because I actually didn't scream them that much, but I think Dignitas is getting back again. Like they're really solid in scrims, at least in my opinion.
All right, cool. It's cool to hear because we have them coming up next, so I'm excited for that. Thank you very much.
Well, Dig is next, but obviously next week you guys will, oh, actually not next week, tomorrow, you guys are facing off against Expert. And Expert's been definitely making some splashes in this big pond so far. What do you think about the match coming up?
Yeah, obviously, like ever since HGC started, like even the first phase, like Expert was the team to look out for us, the 4th upcoming team. So I have respect for them, and I think they are tough opponents. So we just gotta make sure we do our homework, and let's just hope they didn't like prepare some mad cheese that we can't handle. But I eat cheese every breakfast, so we should be fine.
Good for you, Quack. Cheese is great for a good diet. All right, man, before I let you go home and start working on your homework with the rest of your team, you have shout-outs as the floor is yours. You already started with a good shout-out, but let's get some more from you.
The normal shout-outs. Shout out to everybody out there, like everybody watching the HGC and cheering for us as a team. Shout out to my team. Had a rough start, but we put it together and made a pretty clean performance after that. And yeah, shout out to you guys. And of course, shout out to my baby that kept me awake during the series.
She's so kind. She's so kind. Congratulations to Quatnix and the rest of Fnatic as they earned a victory today, a 3-1 over the Good Guys. And I'm excited. He mentions Dignitas seems to be getting back in form and scrimmed, which is good. I kind of miss Dignitas being the dominant performance that we usually get from them. So going to the next series, which should be a pretty good one, I'm excited for more Dig.
Yeah, but the one thing I wanted to say before we headed into the interview, and he already touched on it a little bit, is when we're talking about the good guys, I still want everyone to realize that this is still the youngest team. If you look at a team like Fnatic, they've been playing in that constellation for ages. So they really have that synergy going. They know exactly what each of the members think, where they are positioning, how they want to approach a fight. That's something that the good guys still have to figure out. They just formed shortly before the last Open Division ended, went into the playoffs, immediately qualified for the season. So they had the least time playing together with this constellation, and therefore they still will grow. If they keep working on themselves and just keep scrimming, try to improve, they will do a lot better. So I'm really impressed how strong they are already. So I think we are in for a really exciting season here. And I want to see if they can unfold their potential or if they will fall short.
Well, we'll get more from the good guys over the next couple of weeks. Just so you guys know, Caldor and I tried out some acting chops the last couple of weeks, and we got it on camera. So make sure you go to twitter.com/heroesesports. We're going to be sharing a cool little video that may feature a hero or not. But we're going to go ahead and go to a commercial break. Oh, yep, hang on real quick. Go ahead.
Also, if you want to learn, this is a bit of the start maybe. We might have more of those in the future if you like it. So definitely make sure that you check it out. Give the thing a retweet if you enjoy it, and some of you might learn something for their own games with it. So as you already said, on Twitter @HeroesEsports, I think it was just published, and yeah, we're gonna see you guys with the next series in a bit.
The next series will be soon. We'll be right back after this commercial break. This is the HGC.